Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name's Mandy and I have kind of been doing a little series of creating planner routines because every so often, for me, honestly, it's probably every quarter, if not monthly, I like to write down my newest planner routine. Basically, things have changed and I most likely need a little bit of change up in my planner routine. And if I'm being honest, my planner routine changes quite often just with everything that, our family of 5 has that might change or go differently, but also with my system changing because I love creating my own planners and changing things up, and that when I do that, it can sometimes change up my routine. But I'm not going to rewrite my routine every single time, like officially or anything. But I do like to write down my routine as a goal because I want to get the most out of my time. I want to be as productive as I can in the very limited time I do have to be productive in other ways than, being with my family and homeschooling and stuff like that. So today we are actually going to be creating my weekly routines. Now, if you want to see any of the videos before this, which right before this one in the series would be creating my afternoon/evening routine. And then the video before that, it was a little long because it was kind of a combo of getting started and how I figure out how to create my routines, as well as creating my morning routine. That is linked down below, and you are welcome to watch those after this or before this, whatever suits you. So what we're going to go ahead and do today is create my weekly routine, and that is going to end up being on the same page that I have my morning and afternoon routine. So this is part of my routine bundle in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, it's always linked down below as well. Or my Etsy shop actually is. But I also have my old planner routines, which is definitely something I would suggest having when you are creating your newer routines. If you don't already have a system though, I suggest writing down some things on, well, I don't say suggest it on the back. I suggest it on a different sheet of paper so you don't have to keep going over and, flipping your page over, but that's what I mistakenly did already. But I do suggest kind of making sure that you write out what you want to make sure you have done throughout the day, or maybe this could even be a list for what you want to make sure that you track in your planner. And then I had specifically listed what's working and what needs help, just because I felt like, I have had this system down for a little bit, and as things change or seasons come and go, like things are going to change, and I do have different priorities at different times. So I ended up kind of brain dumping here under there. And then I was able to figure out, what do I need to do for my planner on a weekly basis to be successful in these areas. So I hope that's kind of like enough of a quick backstory, but if you need more details on that, watch the first video in this series. So we're going to go ahead and write out my weekly planner routine. My first thing or tip would be to decide on a day of the week with plenty of time beforehand so you can prep. So, and when I say plenty of time beforehand, I mean plenty of time before your week starts or before you want to start implementing those things. So if I know that I have plenty of time on a Sunday, it's kind of nice because it's fresh in my mind as I start my, my work week on Wednesday. But if I know that I have quite a bit to do, I might start this routine earlier in the week, honestly. I might have to, if it depends on how long your routine is. So writing out your routine is so good because if something in your weekly routine takes you an hour and then something else takes you an hour and something else, soon you have a 3-hour weekly routine, and that may not keep you consistent in your routine. And if you're not consistent in your routine, you will most likely not be consistent in your intentionals and your focuses. So with that being said, maybe decide on a day of the week with plenty of time for you to prep the following week. So for me, I have to review what's working and what's not. So as well as just kind of what I want my main focus or goals to be. So every week I try to kind of go over my list here and make sure that I have time for all of this. If I really don't have time for all of this, I have to pick and choose what is, what is most important. So when I'm doing, the reason why that affects my weekly routine is because I do print my own planners, but if I'm not, I even will use a happy planner, and I need to know where my focuses are, how I'm going to set that planner up. So let me show you. If I were to use this weekly right here, then I need to know what my focuses are for my routines. I need to know what my focuses are for getting things done and my category lists. If dinner plans are a focus, then I will probably most likely use this as dinner plans. But if, for me, I like to use the FlyLady cleaning system, if that is a bigger focus, then I might need to use this for my theme days. So just kind of figuring out what my main focuses are. That's why I really like this planner as well, because there are plenty of sections to have focuses or have things that I am focused on. However, if I'm using a happy planner spread for the week, so this one right here, it isn't necessarily catered to the things that are my focus, because I create my own planners and a lot of them are guides to my own focuses. I might just have a blank slate here and I need to spend some time creating the sections to be geared towards my focus. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but I have to review what's working and what's not. I will use my last week's as a sample for you guys. So this was my last week's weekly catch-all spread here. Its main focus, honestly, was my FlyLady cleaning system, because I really do want to start incorporating that more in my day. I was not as successful as I wanted to be. So as I look over this, I need to reevaluate what my focuses are, what took more priority. Am I happy about what took more priority? Am I not so happy about it? Are there things that happened during this week that aren't going to be happening in this next week, and so forth? So I'll let you guys know I did a lot more research on homeschool curriculum than I ever usually do, and that did take over a lot of my time. I'm okay with that because I got, some stuff done there, but I'm wondering if maybe I used if I made my cleaning system a little bit more of a priority. Could that possibly be, make this more of a successful week if that were more of a focus for me? So as on a weekly basis, part of my planner routine is review what's working and what's not. Review, I'm going to abbreviate some things because I don't have long enough lines for what I want to say. And then to piggyback off of that, I will, well, do I want to piggyback off that? Let's see. Next, I would end up printing. And if you don't print your own, you're already ready to go with this, or you may want to just map out the next week's. Okay, so that's just an overall, it's basically observations, and then the action would be to print my new week, right? Next, I need to fill in events, appointments, and reminders. Now, this process can be as detailed as you want, or it can be very vague. I'm a more detailed person. If you don't know me already, I am. And that is something that I just, because I will honestly forget to do that. So I write it down. My next thing is and let's go ahead and look at a weekly while we do this. My next item would be, I usually take care of the catch-all section first. I always, on my weekly spreads, usually don't have these double-sided. I most of the time have a page on each side. So it ends up being 2 double-sided pages or 4 pages altogether. The next thing I do is looking at my focuses, the events and stuff that I have going on. I make sure that I put in my routines and habits. So I create my routines and habits around what's going on, but I also make sure that they are like intentional, focus driven. I want to say here too, if something's not working for you, give yourself the flexibility of making those changes. This is like the perfect time to make a little change. So that's why I used to type these in, but now I don't type them in as much, because usually something has kind of taken a different, importance that week compared to the previous week. This is important. So I always review the previous week's to-do lists, because usually I have, let's see here. Here's my previous week's to-do list. If I haven't done those things, I need to write them in on my new weekly. So anything that wasn't completed and is still really important to get done, I will write on my new week. If it isn't something necessarily super important, I might just add it onto my monthly list. So I always have a monthly category list too. So that's basically, but going over my to-do list though. So the next thing is for me, is to plan my focuses, my goals, my intentions. So I always have those kind of listed out somewhere. I showed you here pretty much. And I make sure that I have something for that. It depends on the weekly that I use, but if I need to have, let me just kind of list off, I guess, for you, like working out or fitness is definitely a focus of mine. Another focus of mine is homeschool, just basically like being intentional in not just like the everyday schooling, but field trips, making sure we're doing something throughout the week, whether it's a field trip, art, seasonal stuff, baking, practical life, stuff like that. I make sure that I give myself planning sessions so I don't feel overwhelmed at the end of the week, which that might be the time that I start prepping for the next week or something for the next week. I make sure that I have some kind of focus throughout the day on my meals. And then usually I try to do like home care kind of thing, dates with my husband or family and family adventures, so family stuff. And what's the other one? Sometimes I just make a new weekly goal. But if I don't have those things pretty much good to go, or something else comes up, might take precedence over something else, but those are usually my intentions. I mean, my intentional list can go on really long if I let it, but I really have to make sure that I am pretty good about that, and these routines help me with that. So when I am doing my routines and habits, I keep in mind my my focuses and my goals. This section here is where I will sometimes write what I want to do, or I will write my intentions here. So if it is family, I might write down a few things that we can do. Let's see, I have used my intentions here as well, where I might write intentional, and then each day I put a different one. So I don't like to do too many things. This is probably a whole separate video, but my intentionals are not something that I necessarily, I have dailies and I have something I want to do on a weekly basis. So if that makes more sense. So our family adventures isn't always going to be every single day. We do try to plan Saturdays for that. We might go on some other ones for homeschool or whatnot, but we intentionally plan things on a Saturday as a family. Home care. If I'm finding, like you guys saw in my previous week, I can't do too much every day of the week, I might focus on a day of that. So like maybe Fridays or something like that. So sometimes I will call one of these boxes intentionals. Let's show you a different, get situated here. I do have a different planner spread, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one, or the one I'm about to show you, but I love this one. This is on my Etsy shop. It's color boxes. Here's where I have my intentionals here. I absolutely love having them, this section here. I have, so I might put marriage, date night, family, Saturday adventure, home care, clean up Friday. I mean, you know, it's just, I just love it. So, but that's kind of like a different way of tracking my intentionals. So for my planner routine, I will make sure that I have thought of what I want to do and be into how I want to be intentional. So I'm going to put my intentionals here. I know what that means. Now you guys do too, as I explained how I go through that process. And then honestly, the other thing to do on a weekly basis is, I don't know, just review other areas, create a brain dump or a plan for it. Like for example, YouTube, and my videos that I like to put out there for you guys, Etsy. Sometimes I can't do more than the videos and some Etsy stuff, but I love doing it. So, you know, it's my hobby. So I will spend time trying to work on a hobby, and sometimes that's brain dumping. So I guess just reviewing any other area of focus, and just a brain dump. Sometimes I will take a few pages from my happy planner. I will write down the category at the top, and I will just start making lists or writing down my thoughts for it. Yeah, that is my weekly routine, or at least that's what it's going to be. If I need to add anything to it, I definitely have space to do that. But let me know, what are your guys' weekly routine? Do you have that many things? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did mention to try to keep it simple if you're just starting this process of creating planner routines, because you don't want too much to do. That's not going to make you want to do it. But if you're a person like me who likes a guide, I definitely like the detailed guide. It's helpful for me. All right, you guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you've enjoyed this series. Let me know if you guys are looking forward to me creating my monthly routine. I do have videos out there on what I print or use regularly, monthly and weekly right now. That's probably a helpful video to watch too if you guys are really interested in planner routines and how I go about making sure I have everything I need on a monthly and weekly basis. So thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button to let me know you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, letting me know what your routines are, and have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Bye.